With your bad self.
#1 championship self. Still.
What's that say right there?
We still winning championships.
Still winning. Hey. Can't hold us down, baby.
That's
Can't
right.
hold us down.
That's right.
No matter how hard they try, the Rattlers will always strike, and strike again. Damn it. And so with that, we say hello, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining the show. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. I am Bryan Fulford. That's Kelvin Rozier. Joining us a little bit later, Marcus Green. He'll be checking in, coming in. Had to take care of some family matters here in the early part of the show. What an exciting time to be a Rattler. Despite what others may say and think and feel, it is an exciting time to be a Rattler. And so don't let that get lost in the minutia that's floating around out there, okay? So on today's show, we're going to spend the first hour of the show talking about what we always talk about, FAMU Athletics. That's what this show is primarily here to do. We talk about all things related to FAMU athletics and culture. So we have so many great things happening on the field right now. We're going to talk about that. And we've got coming up at the bottom of hour one, we've got our championship coach, Coach Garfield Ellenwood, the second director of our track and field and cross-country program. He'll be coming up, give us a bit of a recap from a great weekend. It really was. Again, from the SWAC Outdoor Tournament. If you yes. Woo.
Right there.
Man, right there. I'm telling you, almost had the three-peat. So we'll talk to him. And if you watched Sunday, maybe you had some doubts. But no, Saturday, day 3 was Saturday, and it came down to some great races. So we had some outstanding performances. So we will get into all of that and more. And then in hour number 2, the hot topic that's on everybody's tongues, we'll talk about the outstanding, amazing, plentiful gift of $237 million in stocks that was gifted to Florida A&M University. And we're going to talk about some interesting points of view and some discussions on it. So we'll get into that in hour 2. And so obviously we always want to hear and hear your thoughts. And look, we will be very transparent with our opinions, because everybody's got an opinion. Hell, I mean, people who ain't ever probably been to FAMU, ain't walked up the damn hill for 4 to 5 years, got an opinion. So, we're going to give y'all our opinion. I mean, we might be floating a little bit closer to the sun than some other folks, but hell, what do we know? We'll find out. You'll find out.
Yeah.
And you'll hear our thoughts, and we'll go from there. There's our brother coming in just in time. So everybody say hello to Marcus Green. Marcus Green, how you doing?
Doing good. How are y'all?
What's going on, Marcus?
Blessed. Glad to be here.
We champions right here.
That's right.
Still champions.
Still champions. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Want to thank everybody for coming in to the show. However you're watching us, if you're watching us on our YouTube channels via the Jericho Broadcast Network's YouTube page or our own O&G StrikeZone page, you might be watching us on X, via O&G StrikeZone or the Black College Sports Network. You might be watching us on Facebook on one of those Facebook channels. So we say hello to all of you. Hit that thumbs up if you're in the YouTube chats. Hit the like button if you're there on Facebook. You might be watching us on Instagram Live. We say hello to you. If anybody would like to be a part of the chats, come on in to the YouTube channels. I see our admins are in, especially on the Jericho Broadcast Network page. This is a FAMU themed show, so just remember that. And we don't silence opinions, but foolishness might get snipped. I'm just gonna let y'all know. So come in, have some fun, be a part of the conversation, but don't be ridiculous, I guess is what I can say. Support the show. You can always support the show. Right there, you see the Cash App, my JBM, my BCSN, or you can hit that scan right there on the left, the QR code. That's another opportunity. Or if you are in the chats, you could always leave a super chat if you're on the JBM page. If you're on the JBM page, you can leave a super chat. And we always want to encourage those of you who want to be a part of what we're doing with the Black College Sports Network. Join the YouTube channel there. It's youtube.com/myjbnonline/join, and you can be a part of the channel there. So, Kelvin, how have you been over the past week since we last talked?
Oh, man, I've been doing personally wonderful. I've been very happy. Was extremely excited with commencement and announcement. Yeah. You will find out in the second hour how I feel about it right now. But when I first heard it, boy, I was over the moon. I'm ready to tell them how to spin it.
Hey, look, we were all there, right? We were writing down little lists and say, well, what are we gonna do with that money? Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yeah, take that money and flip it, man. Don't waste it. Spend it, but spend it in a way where it makes money, right?
Yes.
You leverage
exactly.
Leverage. The words are leverage and invest. Hopefully, you got something to invest.
Well said. Marcus, how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, look, we got championship caliber teams competing at a high level, and depending on how things shake out with everything else surrounding FAMU, we could be set up as I saw a quote today in a chat. Either we're going to be in the top 75 of colleges and universities, or we're going to be a Netflix documentary. one way or the other. But all in all, I'm having a good week.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, as many of you may not know, or maybe you do know, big day on Monday. So I'm thankful. Appreciate everybody who
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thanks to everybody who tuned in on Monday,
man.
The birthday show.
Couldn't.
You
50. You 50.
I feel young at heart.
It's about time you catch up with us, though.
I'm glad to be part of the club. I'm glad I can officially join the club now. So no longer am I hanging out there in the 40-something bars. Now I got to come on.
Mm-hmm.
My sister bought me a AARP card.
I was just going to say that.
There you go.
And for a minute I was kind of hurt. I was in my feelings, but then I started looking at how to get some nice little discounts with this thing. Mm-hmm. So
I'm gonna say you should have. I got my AARP card at 50.
Yeah. So yeah.
I was sleeping. We just got ours like last week.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. Exactly. Yeah, joining the club has its membership, has its benefits. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you.
Chuck Hunt, we didn't win the SWAC championship. We came in second for the SWAC championship.
We're national champions.
Yeah, though. Right. We got one up on that. So we'll come to the shout outs here in just a second, because we always like to start the show talking about champions. Champions. Yeah, that's right. Let me get my ish together here. News flash just came out this afternoon. FAMU Golf wins the HBCU National Championship right in Jacksonville, Florida. Reading right here from FAMUathletics.com. FAMU Golf accomplished something they have not done since the start of the century, which is win the HBCU National Championship. FAMU dominated the weekend, finishing each day in first place, finished the championship winning by 29 strokes with a score of
how many?
27.
Say it again.
29.
We smoked them.
Yeah, that wasn't even close.
We smoked all y'all.
This marks the second time the Rattlers have won the HBCU National Championship after winning it for the first time in 2000 with a score of 853. The last time the Rattlers won, guess what? Coach Mike Rice was the team's captain and was the men's medalist with a score of 208. This year, Coach Rice leading as the coach. The medalist honors went to Marcus Taylor, who shot a +2, 218, who was this year's medalist, which gave the Rattlers 9 medalists in PGA Works Collegiate Championship history. Patrick Mwade Pole, Patrick M. We got 2 Patricks on the squad.
I know you tore it up.
I know I did. He finished in second with a +70, with a +7. Just in case you're wondering, who were some of the other competitors in this? Let me see if I can pull that up. I saw the video. Matter of fact, I just retweeted it. Now, this event was held at the prestigious TPC Sawgrass, home to one of or what many call the 5th major on the PGA or on the golf tour. It's in Ponte Vedra, which is right outside of Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can go to I saw the video of who the other teams were, and it wasn't in the article. Did you happen to catch who the other teams were?
HBCUs?
No, hold on. Yeah, well, right. Yeah, there you go. HBCUs. Yeah. Let's see. Trying to pull it up real quick if I can. You're funny. Okay, the competitors were Alabama State, North Carolina A&T, Prairie View. That was your 2, 3, and 4. Again, we smoked Alabama State by 29 strokes. You also had Chicago State, North Carolina Central, Tennessee State, Texas Southern, Alabama A&M. Right, Edwin. I'm trying to read the script. You got it. So that was who was.
Boy, Edwin, you are such an antagonist, man. But I love it.
I mean, what did you get? You gave him access to the script, Kelvin. I mean, damn, he's on it today, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Every day.
Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, congratulations. Congratulations to Coach Rice and the fellas on winning. You guys want to any thoughts you want to add? Anything you want to add in there?
Well, of course, congratulations. I've already reached out to Coach, and hopefully we'll have him on the show next week. But we knew this was the last tournament of the season. This is the end of the season officially for us, since we're not going to the NCAAs because we didn't win conference. But it is an amazing way to finish this golf season as a national champion. And you got to remember, Coach dealt with some things that are typically he wouldn't have to deal with because of the transfer portal. He lost some guys that he would have been relying on this season to other schools. So he didn't have the complete team that he had previously. And the thing that plagued us in most of the big tournaments this year was getting off to good starts. Well, we got off to a really good start this tournament, and as we led from wire to wire, is a great way to end the season. You know, Coach got quite a few seniors on his team,
Oh yeah, it
So
was 5 or 6 guys. We mentioned them
So
last week. Yeah, we showed them last week about 5 guys, I think.
this is definitely something that he can go recruit with, as well as the recruits he already has coming in have something to uphold and defend. So it just maintains the excellent standards of champions that FAMU has always been, and is being magnified within the HBCU spirit as well as the Southwest Athletic Conference. You can call us a lot of things, but one of them things better be champions.
Well said. Well said. Marcus, you want to add anything in there?
No, there's not much to say. Coach Rice doing his thing, and just upholding the standard that a lot of teams have set the last couple of years.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So add another championship to the ring collection and the trophy collection. So congratulations to Coach Rice. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's do a quick roll call real quick before we spend a couple minutes saying hello to everybody. Now that we've kind of got everything kind of going here, and then we'll kind of mention the other big story that happened today. And Jimmy Mack, let me see. Jimmy Mack came in hot with some comments. Okay, yeah, there we go. There's one I can put up there. Jimmy Mack. That's right. We'll talk about the shutout for our Lady Rattlers, our softball team, here in just a moment, as they took care of business today. 4-0, another win. Second win in a row, of course, yesterday, dramatic fashion. A pitcher's duel, went into extra innings. We were just
second time this year we don't won that way.
Hey, well,
at the beginning of the season. No, I love it. To me, it's a beautiful thing. Well, we forced the throw, forced the team to make a decision whether they were going to try to get the runner at second or go home, and then we stole home and won it. Man, I love it. It's exciting. That's a well-coached team. We practice.
Yes, it is. Yep. Well said. Well said. Shout out to Mia Blasingame, who definitely big play for the last out in the top of the 8th, and then she leads off getting on base, and just an outstanding job of running the bases. Shout out to Dr. Lloyd. Appreciate you coming in.
What's up, Doc?
Coming in, managing our chats in there. Marcus, good to see you.
What's up, Marcus?
Let's see. Jay Hunter checking in. Good to see you, Jay Hunter. Thank you for coming in.
What's up? What's up, Jay Hunter?
Edwin Moore checking in. Thank you for coming in, Edwin. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Ed.
We had the softball coach on the air last week.
Yep.
And of course, hey, once we win the SWAC championship, she'll come on again. We know it. So, I mean, we'll be looking for Coach P next week.
Made that the SWAC Coach of the Year, please.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you. The SWAC Coach of the Year.
That's right. Put
Coach
some
Denise
respect
Patterson.
on her name.
My bad, indeed. Marvin Allen checking in from Duval. Good to see you, Marvin. Ashton Harris, thank you for coming in, Ashton. Good to see you. Demetra Alford coming in.
Piccola, tele-ho.
Tony Matthews, yeah, coming in. Good to see you, Tony. Good to have you. Mr. Campbell coming in. Good to see you.
What's up, Mr. Campbell?
Those are some great numbers to play. You know what? I'm gonna play that as well, Mr. Campbell. I agree with you. Everybody, I'm gonna go in and play them 3 numbers right there. 2, 3, 7.
We might. Hey, if you win anything, we might need to send it in.
Stop it. You don't be that way. Meredith, good to see you, Meredith. Thanks for coming in. Mary 305, good to see you. Hello to you as well. Little baby 205 coming in. Appreciate you. Ezekiel Love, what's good, family? Thank you as well for coming in. Let me see. Tamara T checking in. How good to see you, Tamara. How you getting used to Tallahassee again? Must be nice. James Austin checking in.
What's up, Austin?
His favorite numbers too. Must be something about them numbers. 237. That's everybody's favorite number today. Hey, it's some good numbers. Go ahead and play those. Everybody play those numbers. Pick 3. There you go.
Hello. Hello.
Good to see you checking in. Hello. Chuck Hunt from Monroe, Louisiana. Good evening. How you doing?
What's up, Chuck?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. Shako. Good to see you checking in. Good to see you. Hello. Let me see. Going through already. See some people. Jeremiah Clark. Good to see you coming in. Thank you. Marching 100 Paparazzi.
What's going on,
Paparazzi?
There you
go. Good to see you. Good to see you. Alice McCullough checking in. Good to see you, Alice.
What's up, Alice?
Let's see. Anybody I haven't checked in? Oh, well. Israel coming in. Oh, good to see you, Israel. Keep us updated on them scores. Jackson State versus Alabama State playing in the other half of the winners bracket. FAMU will play the winner of that softball game tomorrow. Hold on. Wait a second. Edwin Moore comes in. With some updates. Bama State jumping on them Tigers. 1-0. You know, it's three of the 4 teams on the winning side of the bracket, all from the East.
No surprise.
No surprise. We know our opponents well.
And the 1 seed from the West lost immediately.
That was the big upset. Look, as big as our win was, the next night for Alabama State to knock off, and they did it in powerful fashion. I mean, they jumped on them early. It was like 6-0 heading in late into the innings. So Prairie View tried to make a game of it late, but man, good stuff there. Good stuff. Let's see. Appreciate all the birthday shout outs for everybody in the chat room. Thank you very much. Fat Mouse, how you get your AAP card at 45? Really? They let you do that? They let you do that?
I thought it was 50. I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't ready to admit that.
I am not accusing you of anything, sir.
Erie Young checking in from the Carolinas. All right. How about that FAMU softball win today? Yes, indeed. All right. Let me see. Gail Butler checking in.
What's up, Miss Gail? Miss Gail's been putting in work. Yeah, she's been putting in work.
Gail, where you going?
I think I know what Miss Gail been up to, and we want.
Huh?
I want to thank you if it's what I think it is, Miss Gail. Appreciate it.
Where's Gail going? Where you going, Gail? You need to stick around in Tallahassee a little bit longer. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Karen Griffin. I don't think I said hello to you, Karen Griffin. So if I didn't, my apologies. But hello to you, Karen, checking in. I'm trying to see anybody else I didn't see. Ron Jab Williams. All right, checking in. I'm seeing
Jab, what's going on?
Okay, I'm seeing some new names in here, so it's all good. GT3 checking in. Okay.
The muck is in the house.
Yeah. It's the boss. The boss man's watching us, fellas. So we got to be on P's and Q's. The CEO, Jericho Broadcast Networks, is in the building.
Better sit up straight.
Yeah. Marcus Harris, sit up straight.
It's been to be a show.
Oh, it's been a show. It's going to be a show. Let me get the disclaimer out. The views expressed on the O&G StrikeZone do not reflect Jericho Broadcast Networks or the Black College Sports Network. The views expressed are expressly the opinions of Brian Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, and Marcus Green. All right, there's the disclaimer. I may give it one more time, but that's all you're going to get. Okay. Softball. Yeah. So
see Batman in the house.
Yeah. Where? Victor Gaines. There you go.
What's up? Right. What's up, Vic?
Shout out Victor Gaines checking in. All right. So earlier today, probably the game ended maybe about an hour ago. FAMU softball gets their second win of the SWAC tournament with a 4-0 shutout of Texas Southern, as Zoriana Hughes, she was the co-freshman of the year, which, by the way, game 1, you had the 2 freshmen of the year, right? Kayla Adams from UAPB, Zoriana Hughes. Now, Zoriana didn't start the first inning. And Samantha Smith started, and that was interesting. Iria, I'd love you you're in the chat, Iria. I'd love hear your thoughts on the strategy of starting Samantha in the first inning, but she was the opener. And so it was 1-1. Both Sam gave up a run in the first, and then we came back. Kayla Adams of UAPB gave up a run. And then when Zoriana came in to start the second, it was like lights out. I mean, both pitchers, nobody, I think there was at a point where there were let me see. Somebody had retired 17 straight. I think Zoriana had retired 17 straight. Kayla Adams of UAPB had retired like 15 straight. And that's how it went, I think. Yeah, like that's how it went all the way into like the 7th inning or something like that. Yeah, it was an interesting ball game. Came down to a great play with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning that a foul ball, Mia Blasingame made a nice diving catch in foul territory to get the 3rd out. And then she's the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 8th inning, and she slaps a ball down the left field line to get on base. And then let's see, we sacrificed her over to second. Then I think there was a fly out for the 2nd out. And then, give me the young lady's name. Is it Kiana? What was Kiana's last? Watson. Was it Kiana Watson? Kiana Watson bunts a ball right back towards the pitcher, basically beats out the throw to first, while Blasingame gets over to third. And quickly, a heads up Watson, the minute she slid into first, got up, the first baseman from UAPB, Pine Bluff, didn't get the ball back into the circle. She kind of like held on to it. And so instantly, like you said, this is where that coaching came in.
Mm-hmm.
Watson starts to take off towards second. Well, all of a sudden, UAPB is like, oh, what the hell's going on? And while that's going on, Blasingame was alert enough as they thought they had Watson in a rundown to start taking off towards home. She beat the throw to home. We end up winning the ball game. Outstanding job of not only coaching and being prepared for the moment, but great base running, great hitting. Appreciate it. Here you go. Iria drops in. Iria, of course, a softball alum, drops in, says Sam and Zoe are kind of in that DP flex role. And so, yeah, Sam's bat was in the lineup, and so it's not okay. So good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that update. Yeah, and definitely Victor drops in. Coach P, aggressive base running. So good stuff. Good stuff. And then, of course, we advanced to the game against Texas Southern, who beat Bethune-Cookman,
which was the 2 seed on the west side.
Correct. Right. And we beat them 4-0. Hughes went on to, let's see, she pitched again from the 2nd inning all the way to the 8th. So she essentially pitched 6 innings. And then she came out today and threw a 1-hit shutout. She had a no-hitter going until the 6th inning, maybe? 6th inning. So she struck out 6 Tigers. Let's see, just kind of doing a quick little run of some stats here. Naomi Jones got a run and a hit on 2 at-bats. Kayla Aldridge with a hit as well. Amaya Gaynor with a hit and an RBI. Nia Morgan with a hit and an RBI as well. We drew 5 walks against Texas Southern pitching. So just a steady game. And when you have the best pitcher, again, Zoriana Hughes, pitcher of the year. We told you guys 3 weeks ago Zoriana Hughes was going to be the pitcher of the year, and that's what I feel like that's the second one we've gotten right, guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so Zoriana Hughes improved to 15-3. FAMU moves to 25-18. We move to the winners. What do we call it? The winners championship. How are we? What's that called? The championship
semifinals.
And okay, 1 game away from getting to the actual championship game. So it's the, we will take on again the winner of Alabama State, Jackson State, for the right to go to the championship game.
Essentially, we got to win 1 game to get to the championship game. We have to lose. We have to lose twice,
right?
In order not to make it.
Right. Winner gets there. So I think I heard that game is. Do you know what time that game is?
I think it's 3:30.
3:30.
In the
Okay.
broadcast.
Okay. Good
We have
deal.
to confirm that, but
3:30. Okay. So that game is.
I believe
3:30.
Coach said that on the show.
She did.
Yeah.
So good stuff. So, all right. We'll again, we'll have updates on our opponent throughout the course of the show. I'm sure there's some people in the chat room who are following along and watching that Bama State, Jackson State game. And so congratulations to the Lady Rattlers, not only picking up their first SWAC tournament win, but then turning around and picking up their first shutout in the SWAC tournament. So great start for the Lady Rattlers.
Couldn't be better.
Couldn't be better. Coming up on the other side of this break, we're going to talk to Coach G, Coach Garfield Ellenwood. We're going to talk to him about the outstanding performances of our Rattlers, especially the Lady Rattlers. They were on fire on day 3 out at the SWAC in Baton Rouge. So we'll talk to him and get into a little bit more coming up in the second hour. You are watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a moment.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
As technology continues to bring changes to the world of education, it's time we also reimagine teacher professional development. Gone are the days of one-size-fits-all learning that can only be accessed at a specific time and place. The Stride PD Center is an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that allow educators to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. The best professional development plans are those that include a level of flexibility and choice for educators. Whether you're a teacher, school, or district, visit us today to take charge of your learning.
All right, welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus. Before I bring on Coach G, let me remind everybody, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button. However you're watching the show, you can always be a part of what we're doing. Those of you in the YouTube Super Chat, donate, into the Super Chats on JBN or Cash App or the scan code there. So let me see. Oh, we had Coach G there. Some must have got lost in the signal there. So we'll kind of wait for him to jump back in here, and then we'll bring up Coach G. Okay, here we go. Oops, there we go. All right, without further ado, let me bring on our coach, Coach G, Coach Garfield Ellenwood. Coach G, how you doing?
Good. And how are you guys?
doing great.
Doing well, Coach.
Doing blessed. We're blessed, Coach. Good to see you. Well, Coach, what another exciting day number 3 at the SWAC Outdoor Tournament Champions. I mean, is this the script? Is this what we have to expect every track meet, Coach? We just have to just, kind of watch and not get too panicked on day 1 and 2 and just let it all rush over us on day 3?
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much the plan. I mean, we're built a certain way, based on the coaching staff that, they've been able to assemble. And I try and tell the athletes, we want to make that scoreboard light up like a Christmas tree on Saturday, but we have to do what we need to do prior to get to that position. And, they did their best. Unfortunately, we had an injury that pretty much cost us. I think we would have been able to bring home number 3, but the guy said it wasn't our time right now.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So let's kind of start right there, because obviously the points were going. I'm telling you, Coach, I'll admit I do a lot of the tweeting from the account, so I'm watching the track meet. It gives me something to do. I'm sitting there firing off tweets as the events are happening. I'm keeping people updated with everything, and so we're scoreboard watching, and we actually grabbed the lead in terms of total points with 3 events to go, and I think we had the 200, the 5K, and the 4x4 remaining.
Yeah.
I know we had a couple young ladies running the 200 who they had one of the top times all season, but man, Alabama State just I don't know what kind of gas they put in the tank, but whoo.
No, they stepped up. Those young ladies stepped up. You can't take anything from them. To Naya's on her behalf, she strained her hamstring at the Tom Jones Invitational.
Okay.
So Naya had just come back the week before, and she still was about at 90%. And that was her first 100 meters of the season. Ended up getting second, and her 200, she was on pace before she got hurt to run 22 seconds. So, she came back and did everything she could, and now we've made it through. And I think we'll see much better performance by the time we get to the NCAA regional meet.
And so when we went into that 5K, talk a little bit about what happened there, because that's where the points kind of, I'll let you explain what happened there in the 5K.
Well, I mean, Alabama State, they had some athletes, and we knew they had athletes in that position. What hurt us was Nia Coleman had hurt her ankle doing the steeplechase the night before. Okay. And it swelled up on her in the 15, and they put her in a boot, and she was going to literally get out there and give it what she had. And Coach K and Coach Kinchin and I were like, it is what it is. You're a freshman. You've given us everything we can. We're not going to do that to you. Right. We want to win, but not at that cost.
Right.
So, she had to sit in the stands and watch. And like I said, she was ready to get out there. She was like, I'll get out there and walk.
I bet.
But, so, that allowed them to really jump up the ladder there. And then, like you said, we came back in the 200, and but it came down to the 4x4. Once they got that gap on us, we couldn't make it up. And Alicia Douglas was the other one that went down. I mean, going back into the final, she was second in the 800. I think she had the second fastest time in the 800 and third or fourth in the 1500. So if she just places where she's supposed to place, that's anywhere from 12 to 14 points. We handle. I said, my prayer was, let it just come to the 4x4. If it comes to the 4x4, we're not losing.
Right.
And
we did.
We lose 4x4.
Yeah. No, definitely the 4x4 of Rory Lowe, Lacey DeBoski, Caitlin Smith, Tatiana Martinez. I mean, especially, man, I enjoyed the heck out of watching Tatiana on that last leg, boy. She was smoking. I was like, that you could tell she wanted that. She wanted to make sure we got that one. I mean, she was just kicking at a different level. And so we ended up finishing in second, which, like you said, I mean, still we knew it was going to come down. And so it sometimes comes down to that. So I appreciate you kind of walking us through that. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Coach, so talk about who qualified to go to the NCAAs.
Okay, so right now, Joseph DeRosier is a lock. Caitlin Smith is a lock. Brianna Marshall Brown is a lock. I'm about 99% sure Nia Blocker is a lock in the 200 meters. And then our 4x1 is on the bubble. But we're looking to compete one more time and clean that all up. So Lord willing, we should have anywhere from, on the women's side, 4 individuals plus the relay, and then Joseph and possibly Kurt Dawkins in the 800, Norman Makwana in the 400 hurdles, and Peter Salesman in the long jump. But we'll know that after Saturday. The last day to qualify is Sunday, unless you have a conference meet on Monday, and we'll be competing on Saturday. But I feel pretty good with where we are. And I mean, for FAMU, usually FAMU has had a tradition of taking maybe one athlete to the NCAA regional. So just doing this speak volumes of where the program is and where we're going in 15 months time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And where's the regional meet going to be held?
In Lexington, Kentucky, at the University of Kentucky. And then so that it's a top 48. Then you advance from that, you cut down to 24 from the women will compete Thursday, Saturday. The men will compete Wednesday, Friday. So basically Wednesday and Thursday, you'll cut from 48 to 24. Then you advance 12 from there to go to Eugene against the other 12 that will be coming from the West.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, appreciate that explanation. So that breaks it down. So people who are wondering, you have to have one of the top 48 times. Is that what, in a region or
yes.
Okay.
The whole East Coast? Cut the
whole East Coast. Okay.
The whole East Coast from Maine to Miami, as far over as Louisiana. I think it's Louisiana. There's a cut Louisiana, Ohio, going up north.
Gotcha. Okay. Appreciate that. What you got, Marcus?
Good evening, Coach.
Good evening.
Can you talk about the contributions of the younger team members that are on the track team?
I mean, definitely. Everyone I've named is underclassmen except for Rory Lowe. I have to give a shout out to Kennedy Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Kennedy Hill and Mia Hurd stepped up on a level that I can honestly say I was not expecting. Mia's a gamer, but to come out and switch legs and triple jump, and in her second triple jump of the season to jump 40 feet 4 and get us 8 points was big. And Kennedy told me, Kennedy last year was having mental meltdown, and to come full circle, finally having a throw coach, she goes out. She came in 7th and was like, "Coach, I'm going to make this happen," and she did. So her being an underclassman she's in a junior year now.
Yeah. And
then Caitlin Smith, freshman. Nia Blocker, freshman. Joseph DeRosier, freshman. Brianna Marshall Brown, junior. So it's like we're going to be pretty good moving forward. Those young ones that I went out, and that was the thing. We're going to recruit talent that fit this academic profile and going to bring the same intensity to the track. And so far it's happening. I mean, you look at Caitlin, she was 62 seconds out of high school. Now she's 57. And I truly believe she's going to run 56 seconds in the 400 hurdles. Nia Blocker, sky's the limit. I mean, as you can say, these fabulous freshmen are stepping up.
Somebody explain that when you said she switched legs. I'm like Edwin Moore. I'm like, what? Switch legs? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like,
explain that for the novice out there, Coach.
So you're you take off. Let's say you're a right foot. You take off on your right foot, so it's right, and then your dominant leg is usually the leg you jump off of to go into the pit. Well, because she had an ankle injury last year, and if she had had surgery, she wouldn't be able to compete this year. So she said, we were just going to focus on a long jump. But she's actually a triple jumper at heart. So she says, I'm going to do it for conference. And she switched to the other leg so that it wouldn't put the pressure on the leg that she had hurt in the past. And literally went out and made it happen. And me as a gamer, she has showed up every conference meet prior to me getting here.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you mentioned. Yeah, shout out to Kennedy. I've had a chance to kind of work up in the doing stats with Kennedy. So I was ecstatic when I looked up and saw she had threw a personal best on the first throw from the discus. I was like, oh, Kennedy goes. So I'm like, go ahead, girl. That was awesome to see. I think there was only one other person who threw close to I guess meters. She 44.03 meters was the top time, her personal best. And I think somebody threw like a 40, but that was it. I mean, she covered it by a great distance. And so shout out to Kennedy. Brianna Brown Marshall. We had her on the last time. Absolutely love her spirit and energy. She was named the SWAC's most outstanding field performer. Of course, she took home the high jump. That's what that's the event, right? That's her signature.
And
but
she
Coach,
broke the record again. She broke the outdoor record like she did the indoor record.
Okay. I was going to ask you because I remember you guys kind of talked about this coming out of the indoors. Brianna was running and she was kind of like, I don't know, Coach is going to have me run. And then I looked up, she's on the second place 4x100 team.
Yeah, she made the 100-meter final. She walked right over from the high jump and made the 100-meter final. And she's the second leg on the 4x1.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Shout out to Brianna Brown Marshall. I think she told us, what'd she tell us, guys? She's like a three sport stud superstar from coming up.
Coach hit a basketball.
Hey, look, I might have to. Bridget probably gonna come try and get it from me. I'm not gonna stop. Hey, as long as she can come high jump at the conference championship, if she want to shoot that, but I'm not gonna stop her.
Hey, Coach watches the show. She probably already knows, so don't be surprised. Hey, I saw somebody. Let me see. I saw a question. Okay, one of the questions. Talk a little bit about what are some of the strategies as it relates to the men's program. The women's program is, obviously they've had the most success and there are individual performances, but how are you and what are you looking to sort of build and do with the men's program to kind of get that side? I
redshirted some guys this year so that they would have a complete year next year because we had that COVID year. So what I wanted to do was see the difference with the men. You have a limited amount of scholarships, so it's more chess than checkers.
Okay.
And by redshirting some people to go, we just signed a young man, just ran 1040, 2094 yesterday at Florida State meet. Got a junior college champion coming in the hurdles. So I wanted to, like I said, play chess and not checkers and redshirt those guys this year to be able to come back next year to have a complete team versus doing it in pieces.
Okay. Good stuff. Makes sense. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So, Coach, where are you with recruiting, both men and women's side? How many more you plan on bringing in?
Right now, I would say we're about 90% there on both sides. Just have a couple more pieces to fill in. Just waiting for this transfer portal to open up, as well as some more high school meets to finish up. But I would say within a month's time, we'll be pretty much done and moving forward. What we have we have roster mandates now, roster limits within athletics. So you got to be real careful with what you bring in because it's got to be quality because we won't have it can't be about numbers anymore.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And Coach, is that imposed within FAMU or is that NCAA?
Oh no, that's just FAMU.
Okay.
That's just FAMU, so that we can maximize the dollars that we have. Track, travel, outfitting. We're the second largest sport on campus. Like I said, when you combine the men and the women, we're the second largest behind football, and we're 5 of the 14. So we got to make sure that we have the quality to go along with, versus the quantity.
But my question is, that doesn't mean that we're offering less than what the NCAA allows. It's just that we got to be strategic in what we bring in.
Right. Like to go to the conference championships, you can have, I think the max is 27. So we're going to have 30. We're going to carry 30 on the men's side and 32 on the women's side.
Okay.
And that'd be the max of the rosters can be.
Okay. And one last thing I have, we still on track for that FAMU relays because I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's the plan right now. March 22nd, 2025. Just about getting things in place. Of course, we got to get officials. We got to get timers. So that's going to take funds to get, because I refuse to put it on just to put it on. It has to be done so that people come. So, you know, we somewhat have a layout of where we want things to go. We want to really make it a carnival like it was back in the day. Dr. Oriaku has really been spearheading and telling me how things were and giving me a vision to go along with, you know, actually being able to put my vision on paper and be able to look back at some of he found a bunch of pictures where you could see how things were set up in the past. So I'm hoping that we can really kick it off and make it a big party like it was.
What was your thoughts on the venue of the SWAC Championship in Southern? I know they recently did some things, and I know their track is in their football stadium, but talk about that.
Yeah, and the track is fast. The surface that they put in was fast, and we actually, my assistant coach and I were talking like, okay, if we're between Southern and Prairie View, I'd rather go back to Southern. There was only one hiccup, and they said they're going to get that worked out so that we can run because we had to run into the wind because they didn't have a finish line on the backside. But other than that, it was great. It was a practice warm-up area was fine. I mean, all in all, I could definitely give them an A as far as effort and what they put on. They were very coach-friendly. Officials were friendly. Everything was, I would say they did a very good job. So it gives us an idea of how we want to do things as well.
Okay.
All right. I did have and I don't, you guys take me back into history, Marcus or Kelvin. Did FAMU ever host MEAC track championships back in the day? I mean, is that something you can maybe foresee, Coach? Would you like to one day be able to host the SWAC?
Most definitely. But again, I definitely want to. We definitely need a new track.
Okay.
If we're gonna, I mean, because it's about times. People are gonna come. You can run fast, and I'd actually had Bynum come out to survey, and they just emailed me today the blueprints of how things could be done. Now it's just a matter of if we can get the support to get it done. And then they've asked, even the coaches at Southern was like, okay, we're going to try and come down to FAMU, but are y'all going to be getting a track so y'all can host conference? Because people want to come to Florida. They want to.
Yeah.
They want to.
And when you say that, does that entail surface, or is that like the surrounding like stands? Is that everything when you say that?
Well, the blueprints I have is for everything surrounding it, because in order you want to open up the radius a little bit so you can get some faster times. So taking the steps and at least getting what it should look like to move the bleachers and some things, and then definitely the surface. I even went as far as to say, okay, what it would be to get a turf infield and what it is without. Because my thing is, if we're going to do it, if we do it right, it'll pay for itself.
Correct.
Sure. Yeah.
AAU nationals, all these different things that we can get is just about, but it's like, you got to spend money to make money. So,
amen.
Being able to
does that include PA system, video board?
Nah, I didn't go that far. I didn't go that far.
My background in facility is that
might as well, right? Look, Kelvin, might as well ask for it all. Plan for it all.
I pushed the envelope, but I understand.
If we can get that, I tell you, hey, you know what? It'll pay. That scoreboard will get paid for off the revenue to come from it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Marcus, you got any last questions there for Coach?
Just a quick question, and it kind of ties into Kelvin's question earlier about recruiting. What's been the response with all the success that you've had this year?
Oh, it's been outstanding. I think the hardest thing is people don't understand how academically strong Florida A&M is in the standards. That 3.3 and 1080 will knock you off your socks. And because the state of Florida requires the SAT score, and a lot of these student athletes aren't taking the SAT because it's not mandated anymore, you run into a lot of hiccups there. So we're getting a lot of people reaching out, but then they don't necessarily hit the standard that we need in order to get into FAMU, and then they had to be a special admit. And we only have so many special admits in that within athletics. So, but to answer your question, I'm getting emails left and right. And then also, it's about setting the standard again because of the roster limits. And what I said to you from the first time you met me, I want to be the first HBCU to win a national championship. So we have to go out and get that type of talent.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Well, thank you.
love it.
Mhm.
All right. So just to recap, you got one more meet you're looking to run this weekend. Is that correct?
Yes. One more meet, and then on to the NCAA regionals, and we got some time to really clean up some things. I'm excited about the region, going to the region. I think we'll be able to hold our own.
All right. I want to give you the last word, Coach. Any last words you want to let Rattler Nation know? Anything that we can do to continue to support the program? I'm going to give you the last word.
I just want to thank everyone that gave on the National Giving Day. It was truly appreciated. The support that you all have given us throughout this year. It definitely has driven us. It's fueled us. You guys, right there with the O&G StrikeZone, and Kelvin looking out with the tent. I mean, you guys have really embraced me and my staff and the team, and it's greatly appreciated. And we just hope that we can continue to do our best to make you all proud.
Well, definitely, Coach. You definitely have done that. We always enjoy talking to you. Glad we've been able to kind of spotlight some of the athletes, and by coming on the show and just in nature. So thank you and congratulations. Congratulations to all the champions, and good luck to those who are moving on to the NCAAs.
And one I almost forgot. If we get any Olympic trial qualifiers, we will definitely need help to get there. I've already been told that there's nothing there for it, so we're gonna have to be able to get there.
Oh, Rally Nation, we got you.
We'll
We support champions.
Exactly. We do that. Yes, indeed, Coach. So keep us updated on that, and so that way, whatever we can do to help and support and bring attention to that, bring people on the show, do some whatever we got to do, Coach. All you got to do is call and let us know.
Thank you very much.
All right, Coach. Be well. Good luck this week, and we look forward to seeing the results over the next couple of weeks as you go into the NCAAs.
All right, you guys be blessed.
All right, you too,
Coach.
All right, good night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Garfield Ellenwood II. Outstanding job again. Let me just kind of
great job.
Yeah, great job.
Cross country champion, indoor women's champion, outdoor women's runner up. Got a qualifier on the men's side. I mean, this is year one, people. This is his first year as the head full. He's 15 months in as a full-time coach, right? So technically it's the second year, but I mean, he's new. He started in January of last year. So again, just like Coach Patterson, we have some excellent coaches who have passion about what they do. They do yeoman's work. They come and speak to us and let us know things they need, and we have to make sure that we're supporting them, and we pushing our administration to support them, which will tie right into our next segment.
Just to recap again, the first place finishers from the SWAC, you got Brianna Brown Marshall in the high jump. She finished first. Kennedy Hill in the discus. The 4x400 relay team of Rory Lowe, Lacey DeBoski, Caitlin Smith, and Tatiana Martinez. And then Caitlin Smith finishing first in the 400-meter hurdles. The second place finishers included Nia Blocker in the 100. The 4x100 relay team of Nia Blocker, Brianna Brown Marshall, Dakaya Cunningham, and Rory Lowe. Kirk Dawkins finishing second in the 800, and Lacey DeBoski also in the 800. And then Nia Hurd in the triple jump. Third place finishers included Brianna Brown Marshall in the long jump, Nia Coleman in the 300-meter steeplechase, Rory Lowe in the 100 meters, Peter Salzman in the long jump, and Caitlin Smith in the 100-meter hurdle. So those are your Rattlers who took home first, second, and third. And, of course, FAMU women took home second overall in the outdoor, which outstanding job by them on the heels of winning first in the indoors and then winning first at the SWAC cross country. So absolutely loved it, man. I enjoy watching track and field again. I enjoy it. Notice I said again. I had kind of lost my enthusiasm for it a little bit, but I'm enjoying once you see what these young people do, and then once you get to know them and talk to them, you can't help but be excited, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So check them out. A lot of them are on Instagram. Great follows. I mean, just continue to support. And like Coach said, when we're gonna have to come through with some support a little bit later on in the season. Okay, coming up on the other side, we're gonna get into talking about the big donation, the big gift to Florida A&M University. We thought primarily when this came out, we were wondering what this meant to athletics. You know, it's funny how when things come out, when your purpose and intent is pure, you're looking at one thing, not really paying attention to all this other stuff over here and over here. Why? Because I think a lot of us believe in our leadership, but some people don't. So we're going to kind of get into talking about some of the hot button topics surrounding this. what was that, Marcus? What was that little gesture?
The hot button.
No, the hot button. All right, buckle in. Here we go. Get ready. Coming up on the other side, we're gonna ask the question. Not so much who do you believe, but what do you believe? What do you believe, Rattler Nation? We're going to ask that serious question coming up on the other side. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
Welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, Marcus Green. I want to encourage everybody to go ahead and hit that thumbs up and the like button wherever you are watching the show, especially those of you on YouTube or on Facebook. We say hello to everybody watching us on X or watching on Instagram. We appreciate you. A lot of folks out there watching on those platforms. If you want to be a part of the chat conversation, you probably got to do that on the YouTube. Let's see. It's probably hottest on our Jericho Broadcast Network's YouTube feed. So that's kind of where the most chatter will probably be. Okay. So let's see. What's going on? Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, look, graduation happened on Saturday. So, what's that? Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I went and got some ice, but I ain't putting no drink in mine. Anyway, yeah, shut out. Graduation happened on Saturday. And then all of a sudden this news comes out. This news. FAMU receives a $237 million gift from the Isaac Batterson 7th Family Trust.
I need you to repeat that. What was that amount?
Okay, I'm reading right here from FAMUnews.com. So everybody can go follow along. Go to FAMUnews.com. All right, the official source for FAMU news and events. Okay, I'm just reading headlines, Mr. Campbell. I'm just reading headlines. So I don't know how much caution I'm going to use. Right now, my paces are up 11, so I'm feeling good. I'm not feeling angst right now or anything. So paces are up big time right now. I'm feeling good. FAMU receives $237 million gift from the Isaac Batterson 7th Family Trust and CEO Gregory Jerami. Okay. Beautiful picture there of Mr. Jerami, who was the commencement speaker. I believe the early morning speaker, because there were two commencements on Saturday. So he was the early commencement speaker. Reading here again, the donation is nearly double the size of the FAMU endowment value of $121 million. Which, by the way, is, according to the stats that I saw, the 5th largest endowment among HBCUs, and represents one of the largest single personal donations to a historically Black college and university. It also reflects Jerami's desire to make a transformational contribution that will benefit FAMU students and student athletes for generations to come. Okay, so upon learning about this, my first thought, and I'm going to ask y'all your first thought as well. My first question and thought was, ooh, how much is going to athletics, right? Because I was like, I'm just being honest. I'm like, whenever I see these big donations from corporations and things like that, I'm always like, well, does athletics get a piece of this? And so the first number I heard was like 24 million. Right, Kelvin, what was your first thought when you heard of this news?
We in the money. We in the money.
Marcus, what was your first thought? Come on, keep it real.
I was like, well, I actually hooked up a little meme, but I won't say that. But it's the Tommy Davidson one, and I was like. What is going on here? I was like, oh.
Hey, Edwin, why not us? Okay, not to use something that, why not us? Okay, let's just put that out.
But I was like, I guess my first thought was like, oh my gosh, what in the world? What just happened?
Okay.
Adrian Crook, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That Tommy Davidson when he was on the Breakfast Club, when he was like, who
that? Yeah, okay.
We don't get
Okay, but anyway, I mean, I honestly, I didn't even. It's crazy. My thought wasn't even there on who he was.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. But not for me
My
either.
thought, because and then as we learned a little bit later in, come to find out that $100 million was supposed to be earmarked for athletics, and that's when my eyes really perked up, and I was like, oh, what? Including 24 million towards what was the article in the Democrat said? Towards renovation. The field house. So again, 100 million for athletics with 24. That's a quarter of that going towards the renovation of field house. And I'm like, oh, so yeah. I mean, of course, the bathroom jokes started. Everyone's like, oh, finally, we can get the bathrooms fixed and brag. But in hearing or put it like this, in learning of some comments by AD Sykes, some of her initial comments surrounded improvements to things for student athletes, like what is the academic success program that the NCAA allowed institutions to be able to do? It was like a $5,000 stipend, right?
Yes.
So she mentioned that in the post. There was a private post press conference, and that she talked about that being one of the things. Even maybe doing some, now that NILs can be sort of, I don't know if the right word is managed or operated from the athletic department side, even doing some things there. What?
Guide it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can help guide it.
Oh, okay, guide it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Got it, right?
Yeah.
So that's where my thoughts were with that. Okay. But that's because for me, and again, this that portion of the show where we talk about our own personal beliefs here. And what do you believe? Who do you believe? I'm looking at the people on the stage and in the video, and the people in the boardroom that he's with. The president, Dr. Larry Robinson, the board of the foundation board and dean of the School of Business and Industry, Dr. Friday Stroud. And then you see the board of trustees chair Harper, along with some, I don't know who else was in that particular video, but at that point, I'm of the belief and of the thought that, okay, I see people that I have no reason not to distrust in them doing things for the betterment of Florida A&M University. Okay, that's me. It was never for me to go Google somebody. Now, okay, that was my, and again, still focused on athletics. When and I know we talked about, guys, on the show, some very pointed, so that we can kind of keep this discussion going in the right direction. And one of the questions I asked you guys as the day rolled on, we started seeing some articles come up. One in particular that brought into this space that somehow FAMU might be, hold on, I want to make sure I get it right. It's an article that appeared on the HBCU Digest Education News Flash. For the love of money, has FAMU been fooled? And I'm like, huh? By Mr. Jarrell Blakely. Okay. And so I'm sitting there thinking, huh? What do you mean, has FAMU been fooled? Why would FAMU be fooled? What's happening here? So he brings up concerns that this donation, because of his own research, which he did through Googling, I think as an educator, I tell my kids all the time to don't just rely on Google. Sometimes you got to dig a little deeper. But based on his Google search of Mr. Jerami and his company and this trust, he comes away with the thought that, and I'm going to read quote, he says, "It is hard to avoid the feeling that this donation will go down as one of the biggest scams in higher education history. If the money is indeed in the bank, I wonder if that will be shown to be false in a few days," he asked. "If the money is there without issue, then I'm wrong and the university has a foundation for great prosperity by way of an ultra-rich, unknown business tycoon who seems to care little about how he or his business would benefit from such a bold philanthropic effort. But if this turns out to be a scam, the entire university leadership should resign for a massive lack of vetting." So I feel like certain buzzwords lit the internet on fire. I'll go around the horn. Kelvin, as we get going, you read that article after your initial thoughts and warm feelings. And what are your concerns and what are some things that came out for you after reading that and processing that?
Well, I did some research prior to that article, and it was for different reasons. It was out of excitement and love of the possibilities of such a prestigious gift and how I could support and on social media share the donor information. So I was approaching my research a little different, but I did research prior to that article ever coming out. But before I go into my thoughts, Marcus is so scholarly. He's not only an engineer, he's a professor too, for those who don't know. So he has a way of putting things. I'm going to put it a little bit more comical, but real. So I'm going to defer before I get into it and let Marcus do his thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of did the same thing because Saturday we're getting all these alerts. You get your when you on Twitter and different things when you set up notifications. So I was like, oh wow, okay. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, who's this person? Or who is this person representing? So I, once again did some research, and actually, in all honesty, I hadn't read the article by the gentleman. I did watch the clip that he was on HBCU Sports, I guess, earlier this week, but I hadn't read the article. But I was just looking up to see who this person was to understand, okay, how is this working out and where is it coming from? And so, there wasn't a whole lot to find. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe, things, I don't know if how can I put it? I didn't immediately go to distrust in the organization or in the leadership at FAMU, because I was thinking, I saw the video of everybody signing. They had like a 30-second clip of, the cheers, all the bubbly flowing and all that stuff. And so I was like, okay, we've got our president, the person who's in over SBI and the foundation, and a few other notable folks. And so my presumption was that they did their due diligence to make sure this was legit. And so, I just kind of took it as that, but by the same token, it's hard not to have things creep in your mind in terms of, one of the other things that popped up, this is like the 20th year anniversary of us trying to go 1A, and how that fell through. And everything that's been cascading off of that. So I was like, what is going on here? You know, I felt a little like, for my own personal, I'm assuming they did their due diligence, but it would have been nice to have had something that would have allayed those concerns. And I know they signed a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, so that was already mentioned. And then the letter came out, I guess, Sunday or Monday, about all the social media Scooby-Doos that are in Shaggies and everybody out there doing their digging and finding all kinds of different things. So right now I'm at a point in terms of the believability, you know, hey, it's out of my hands, nothing I could do about it. And depending on how everything shakes out, you know, and I think I mentioned this earlier today when we talked. I mean, from the standpoint of finances, I mean, could be a potentially a win-win, and I know that might not be, you know, the most one way to look at it, but look at it as win-win, that if it's true and everything comes to fruition and everything, the stocks are legitimate and they've gone through the rigors and whatever bureaucracies and agencies they have to review it, then FAMU's really set up really well. If something happens, if there's a snag, do we lose any money? No. You know, we're not, as far as I know, you know, we don't know what's in the agreement, but as far as I know, there shouldn't be any transaction on our end.
Right.
And then, but from a PR standpoint, you know, if it turns out to be negative, the PR is, you know, really, looks really, really bad, reflects bad. So from that standpoint, you know, from a PR standpoint, it doesn't bode well for that. But from a financial standpoint, I would assume and hope that there's no commitment on our part we would actually lose money or have anything that would have any kind of fallout from it.
All right, come on back with it, Kelvin.
Say hello to the bad guy.
That's gonna be you.
You're not gonna see a bad guy this good in a long time. Scarface, man. I love it. Love that scene. So let me say, this is out of love. This is my opinion. I ain't scared of none of you Negroes. Let's get it out the way right now. I said what I said. And I'm going to respond to a comment before I give my opinion. You know, folks talk about people being meticulous and scientists and deliberate. All I know is we're gonna have about 4 or 5 CFOs. We're gonna have about 7 ADs. We're gonna have about 3 or 4 provosts. Blase. You know, I mean, I don't know how meticulous somebody is. I would question that. I would challenge that, as a matter of fact, in terms of our leadership. We talk about our leadership all the time when it comes to athletics. So all right. Now, with that premise out the way, I was telling you that I did research for a different reason. I was so excited about the possibilities because we've been talking about P3, athletic, endowed scholarships, you know, with $100 million. Man, there's some things we can do. Folks talking about spending the money. I'm talking about investing the money because with that kind of money, man, we can be set up we can set up our athletic department for life, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Stanford University has 39 sports. I think they got the most sports out of every university. NCAA sponsored sports, and all their scholarships as well as their head coaches are endowed. So any money they generate out of the athletic department goes to what, you know, pretty much what they wanted to go to, because most of their expenses outside of course travel and operating stuff like that. But in terms of a big bucket of your budget, which is your salaries and your scholarships, it's taken care of. So if we got that kind of money, and that's why I'm not going to go in too hard, because I'm still hopeful and want this everything to pan out and be what it is. So I'm not going to be too vicious right now. But I did my research. I started doing my research because I was excited, and I was like, hey man, I want to if this brother site is something I can buy and support, and I can encourage other people to buy and support, let's do that. And let's put this face out here, because this is transformational, man. Ain't nobody giving HBCUs this kind of money. It's a lot of big, it's enough being African American billionaires that could have done something like this that ain't even thought to do this. So I'm thinking this is really big. This is significant. It's transformational. We got a lot of positive things specific with athletics, but things around the university. We got dorms going. I mean, so I'm excited. So that's why I was doing my research, not because I questioned anything or I thought people didn't vet. It had nothing to do with that. Now what I would tell you is, after I started doing my research, my opinion changed. Absolutely. I'm one, I like the idea of building relationships and encouragement for my community. I want it to be the best version of itself. But with that comes expectation, right? I just happen to think that somebody who's donating $230 million, that their social media presence, their LinkedIn pages and all that kind of stuff will be a lot more cleaner, a lot better than what I saw. I would think that their website, their company website, would be a lot more functional, have a lot less grammatical errors, wouldn't have links with password protections. When you're trying to look at their board, wouldn't have a Gmail account as a contact. I don't think that's too much to ask. If I'm going to, as a university, accept this and put this person in front and put this out here, at the very least, there's two things I thought should have happened prior to us knowing about this. Ask them to clean all that crap up. So that it's not questioned. If I'm doing my research, and it didn't take me no time to look this stuff up and see all this that caused red flags for me, then I would expect for them, before they launch this thing, to have them to clean all that up. And then something we found out just recently, I would have thought that all the board, at the very least, would have been aware of such a monumental thing, right? And so that causes great concern for me, frankly. Along with, there's a profile of people who multi-hundred millionaires and billionaires, right? Generally, most of them went to college. Usually they're associated with certain things. When you see them when things are negotiated and so forth, you see them at the signing, but usually they have attorneys around them or financial advisors who really laying out the contracts and doing the leg work. Not saying that didn't happen, but there's no evidence of that happening. You see him and you see our team, but you don't see his team. You try to look up his board, nothing. You look at companies who do what his company does. And, they got tax ID numbers and they got how much they worth. They got the board is accessible. I said, well, maybe I don't know. This is so out of the box. This don't happen at HBCUs. So let me just go see the closest thing that I can think of that's close to this. So I went and looked at Spelman, who received $100 million gift.
Another
Now,
HBCU.
yes. Now that gift came from somebody who had been on their board since like 1997, and they had a trust also, but they're a long time philanthropists, and you know, you go to the websites, all the things I'm dinging this particular situation is, of course, is not there. So I had an expectation of how things should look, and I'll just, hey, it is what it is. What I saw did not meet my expectation for somebody who giving that kind of gift, and that's fair. Second of all, I'll say that people talk about stocks and bonds. I'm not a stocks and bonds expert. All right. Stocks. And what kind of stocks? Well, what I think the last thing I read was the stocks was mostly stocks of his company.
Private stocks. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what the real value, who evaluated that stock, and then we got to sell it at the right time. This is the way it was explained to me. We got to sell it at the right time in order to realize the maximum potential of those stocks, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's just, you know, because of the NDA, because of other things, I can understand why people question it.
Mm-hmm.
What I do not like, and this is where some of Rattler Nation gonna get mad with me, but the hell, it is what it is. What I do not like is attacking people because they question something with legitimate questions. I had no issues with the article you mentioned, Bryan. I had no issues with what Scotty put out there, because they went to the websites, they put out what he put out. They're not making it up. So nobody is beyond questioning or reproach. And that's my only issue with this group assimilation mentality that we have sometimes. Just because we ain't on the bandwagon drinking Kool-Aid, slapping each other on the back, we hate us. Not everybody hate us. There's some red flags, and people rightfully brought out some of those red flags. And I'm going to leave it there for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And to your point, Kelvin, let me see. Go ahead.
Can I address a couple things here while you put that? I want to address a couple things there because it's a great lead into where I was going to go. And, you know, so my issue is not with Jarrell Blakely himself, because he's a young man who has done very positive things with his time on this earth and what he has done. He's been involved in a lot of things, a lot of positive things. Okay. But my problem is the public reaction to his article, which, again, I talked to you about those key words, those buzzwords that he talked about being a scam, as if somehow what Mr. Blakely has written is whoever you might consider your most articulate, well-respected journalist, as if it came from him or her. Well, Mr. Blakely he's much like us. He's he does a lot of things in his but he's also a content creator with an opinion. And so he has an opinion, and he put out a blog. Right? And a lot of the things that he is, right? And I'm reading right off his website: leadership, government relations, organizational development, urban policy, equity, human and civil rights. Didn't say anything about investigative journalist. So all of a sudden, now because he has used that buzzword scam, all of a sudden it lights up when everyone now wants to use that as the key word to this. Not the things that you just talked about, Kelvin, about questioning. And then I'm going to come to that in a second. But what is really a scam? What has anyone really asked yourself? What is the scam that you think Jerami is perpetrating here? How does he benefit from giving FAMU $237 million in stock? How does FAMU lose if the stocks never reach the full sale potential. Because in order for a scam to actually exist, to my knowledge, and I went and looked up what a scam is. A scam, tricking someone into giving you money or giving you some advantage in a dishonest and often illegal way. So I come back. What is the scam that y'all think Jerami is perpetrating? So my thoughts are, why do we have so much mistrust? Because the FAMU communications letter said that that the university had spent months in going through the process, right? And to my knowledge, almost a full school year. You do the math on the number of months in a full school year. This didn't just happen overnight. This happened over an entire 2 semesters. They even said in the communications that the stock had been sitting in a bank for a month. So that also leads me to say, well, they put it in there to say, okay, let's make sure it checks out. Let's make sure it, I don't know, I guess people think it's going to magically disappear, like somehow it's going to go into the bank account and then magically get transferred out. No, it stayed there. It's still there according to what we've been told. So I keep going back to, why do we have mistrust in President Larry Robinson, Friday Stroud? Why do we have that? And yes, I know about, we haven't had there have been a lot of changes, a lot of great points you brought up, a lot of changes. But okay, so our biggest concern, many people's biggest concern, is the word you just brought up, Kelvin, perception. The expectation of how things should look. Well, where does that expectation and perception come from? Is it because we have an perception of Black celebrities who give money? Is it what we think Black wealth should look like? It should be dressed to the nines. It should have on nice, expensive shoes. It should have on a nice shirt. It should have a clean haircut. That's our expectation. I get it. I understand that. But I also understand that there are a lot of people walking this earth with a lot of money that don't project to be a billionaire or even a millionaire. You could be standing in the grocery store at Aldi's. No shade on Aldi's. I've never been there, but I don't know why I said Aldi's. I'm sorry. Anybody who shops at Aldi's, I'm sorry. Whatever grocery store, you could be standing next to a millionaire. You wouldn't know it. So where does
Kelvin, you're on mute.
Where does that come from?
Let me jump in, please.
Okay, please.
I can't stand emotional arguments. It ain't about how the man dressed, whether his hair was cut. I didn't bring any of that stuff up, right?
No, you said it was your expectation of how he was supposed to look.
No, I didn't. It had nothing to do with look.
You did say that. You said that.
I didn't say look. I said his websites, his company info, his social media presence.
I
laid out exactly what I meant.
I'm sorry, that was somebody else. I went
further though.
That was Blakely who said that about his look. I'm sorry. My apologies.
I went further. I said, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not how companies and you typically do it. So
social media.
Only
a quarter of the country.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I went back and I looked at 3 other companies in this business who considered his peers. Everything that I talked about that I didn't see in him, they all had. So it's not about what I think. It's about what I see. All the other companies who got, and it also told you how much their companies were worth. You can find that information fairly easy from reputable websites. So all those things, I can't ignore that, man. I'm not gonna act dumb. I'm educated. I can read and I can comprehend some things. And that's where I'm at. I don't care about people's titles. I do care about what they do while they have those titles. And I think people get all in this emotional thing. People, haters and all. Man, that's emotional for me. Stick to the facts. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stick to the facts. Nothing in his profile that I can see, other than what wasn't. That's right. I can't guess. I can only go by what he and his company put out. Same with any other trust or any other company. Now it's private. It could be legit. I'm not. Now, once have you heard me say it wasn't legit? What I said, these specific things are red flags. They cause concern, and that is reasonable. And if people don't understand that and they don't have any questions, then that's unfortunate. That's what I would say. That was unfortunate.
And let me jump in, Kelvin, and kind of tie into your thing that, I've seen some of the past articles about previous universities that Mr. Jeremy has attempted to donate to for whatever reason. And so you line up all these things that would
what universities, Marcus? Because that's even I'm seeing people
Coastal Carolina. Well, I saw the main ones of Coastal Carolina about 4 years ago.
He dropped them.
I'm not going to get into. I'm just in terms of things.
That's important though. Because
Bryan, let me finish.
I'm sorry.
The things that happened, the transaction did not happen for whatever reason.
Right.
And so the intent, of looking at it is that, okay, there's a series of things that are happening or didn't happen for whatever reason or different reasons that are going on, coupled with some of the things that Kelvin brought. So healthy suspicion, I believe, is merited. To do due diligence from someone who's not had a history, has no ties to FAMU that we know of, with a business that we don't really know much about. We know they make hemp-related products. And so I was thinking, ooh, that's a lot of weed. And then I was looking, okay, they're out in Texas. And so I didn't know to what degree it had some relations with the FAMU, a medical marijuana study and all those type things. So that was another thing. I wonder if there was a partnership or something there. But the other interesting, well, not interesting, but the thing that we've seen it devolve to, and I'm potentially using that word, is that there's the defenders of, hey, we couldn't, they're either defending the university's leadership, or you're defending it or attacking it. It goes both ways, attacking either based on racial lines, maybe within intra-racial lines or HBCU type things. So it's like a whole different faction of people coming from different perspectives and either being on one side or accusing others of being haters or someone for whatever, a lot of different reasons, whatever perspective is. And so that's the other dynamic in here that makes it more emotional, is that we, of course, all have our own perspectives. And if the certain wording or a certain bent is taken towards that, then there's a side that's going to get defensive for whatever reason, either defending the FAMU name, the FAMU leadership, defending, or why can't, if this gentleman, if it is legitimate and this gentleman donates the money, then how come we didn't have the same scrutiny when it happened? When a white gentleman does it, why didn't we have the same scrutiny or the same type of attack if another school, a HBCU, got bamboozled by someone for some amount of money? So there's all these little barbs being thrown out for different factions, either protecting FAMU's name, protecting the president's name, protecting black people versus white people, all these other things that are going on that just create this whole dynamic around whether this is legitimate or not. And people are putting their stake in the ground based on that paradigm or that perspective. So that's another thing that's just creating a whole firestorm around this in terms of the intent of the person. Why would someone, it's gone beyond, okay, objective things that are looking, that don't look as though it's supporting someone who's giving $250 million to a university that he's never attended. It's gone to what's the motive behind someone questioning it, whether it's, oh, that person's a Howard grad, or that person's this, or we don't question it because the white person gets so. And you've seen the last 4 days, we've seen just about every angle and attack, and there's probably a few more that we haven't seen yet in terms of either to support defending or support attacking, or questioning.
Marcus, this started with an attack on our university and our leadership. That's where this started. So I'm in that category. If I'm not going to apologize for pushing back on anybody who is attacking and saying and hold on. Here's what I think is interesting for me. Not saying any of the points that you guys have brought up are not valid, right? But I will say, why do we believe, because I think there's a little bit of this, why do you believe Dr. Robinson, Dr. Friday Stroud, the general counsel, why do you believe they haven't asked these questions? Why do you believe they haven't vetted and gone through this months-long process? Is that because
because the website ain't straight?
Damn a website. Damn a website. I done made plenty of horrible websites. Okay. Okay.
Are you a billionaire? Are you giving $237 million?
If I become one, you won't know. But anyway. No.
Hey,
okay. But
don't make. Hey, I get out of character now.
Now, I mean, just a couple other things, like you mentioned earlier about the article around the BOT vice chair calling. We're
gonna get to that. You want to go there?
The question is,
now ready also, to go there? I'm ready to go there.
Well, I don't know. We got about
I'm ready to go
11 minutes to go there.
Hold on. I'm ready to go there
but the question is like, okay, BOT, if the BOT wasn't aware of it, that's something you would think. And I know Kenny brought that point.
I got the article pulled up.
Like,
let me read. Let me explain. Okay, I got this pulled right up from Tallahassee Democrat. This came out this afternoon, right? FAMU Board of Trustees called special meeting amid questions over $237 million donation. Okay, that's the article lead. Now, again, this started with the Board of Trustees Vice Chair, Deveron Gibbons. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is me talking. Anyone know who appointed Deveron Gibbons to the Board of Trustees at FAMU? I'll wait.
The governor.
Yeah, the governor.
Okay.
The Republican governor.
Thank you. Right. Ron DeSantis. Okay, the governor. Okay. Now, it says the call comes after days of swirling skepticism and mounting questions. Trustees Vice Chair Deveron Gibbons urged FAMU President Larry Robinson and Harper, that's Board of Trustees Chair Kristen Harper, to convene a, quote, emergency meeting for more, quote, transparency about the sizable donation that was announced Saturday. The gift continues to draw a mix of praise, misgivings, and questions from alumni and others. Let me see. Harper says, now this is from Harper. In the interest of acting as a body with reasonable speed, diligence, and prudence, I am calling a special meeting to collectively understand the facts around the donor gift and take the necessary action to move forward. Okay. So she did ask the board to meet. Now, let me see. There was a key point in here that I thought was really interesting. According to the Board of Governors operating procedures, concerns about the $237 million FAMU donation do not fall under the category of universities holding an emergency meeting to address this matter. Harper says, upon consultation with FAMU legal counsel, an emergency meeting is warranted when there are threats to the university's health, safety, or welfare, and this topic does not meet that definition. Okay. But she's scheduling it anyway. Okay. Now, she's doing that because I have no thought but to believe there are people in places that don't want to see FAMU be blessed and be successful. I'm saying it. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. There are people that don't want to see FAMU with this kind of donation. So they call it into question because the website doesn't look
What
cleaned
are
up
they
and
going to be
great.
able to do about it, though, Brian? Really?
What is it?
It's already in the bank and so forth. What are they going to do about it if it's already in the bank, right? So
That's a very important point you just made, Kelvin. Very important point.
So let me just say this, Brian. And some things we just shouldn't have defended. If the board didn't know anything about this and it was announced to us at the same time and they found out the same way, that's a problem, Brian. Nowhere in corporate America could you do that. No, at no other university you could do that. You have to let. Didn't we just have a federal judge that made a ruling on a former AD at FAMU about making decisions that didn't keep in communication his actual chain of command? And that case was dismissed, and the judge pointed out it could have been any of these reasons. That just happened. So I'm just saying there are some things. Ain't about the guy. We want it to be true, and it's all there. And I'll just, to your point about the people, I didn't name personally. I try not to name people. I didn't look at it as that. I don't look at it as attacking those people's integrity and whether they vetted something or not. All I'm saying is, from what has been, what you should have anticipated some of this, right? A gift of this magnitude, shock.
But this
in the
isn't
state
the
of,
first
hey, hold
gift.
on, hold on, listen. In the state of Florida, has a public university and a HBCU. You didn't think politics was going to be a part of this? I mean, come on, man. What are we talking about? The reality is the reality. You need to dot all the I's, have the T's crossed. When I was coming up, I was always told by the old heads, you got to be 2 times better and work 2 times harder to get the same.
You don't think that
opportunity
happened? You're working on the assumption that didn't happen then.
No, so, I'm not. I'm just the opposite. My point of that's
what I'm saying, the dangerous of optics. That's what I'm saying. The dangerous of optics.
That is your thinking, all right? And that's how you perceive it. That's how your perception is.
Right.
I see nothing wrong with making sure, ensuring at the end of the day, this meeting happens next week. Everything's good to go. Or it may be a little less than what it's supposed to be. There's no harm, no foul, and everybody on the same page. What should have happened, and the reason why, if you had brought it to the board of trustees first before this came out, we wouldn't be here. The board would all be on the same page. They were already known. We done went through this. Y'all informed us of it. Y'all done did you dotted your I's, crossed your T's, and they could have came out with a statement jointly. Hey, no, we've all seen this, et cetera, and this would have had a short lifespan. But that didn't happen, so it's got a little longer lifespan. And and there's nothing wrong with verifying and validating. And we'll know real soon. And that's no shot at nobody unless it ain't legit.
I disagree. I think it is it is
that's
an indirect. That's how I view it.
Take it how you want to take it.
Okay. That's like I think, you know, this isn't the first rodeo with, now, yes, this of this size, yes, it's the largest, but you know, I think for many people, we don't understand how the process of donations are given. If I recall, in that initial communications and I'm going to see if I can pull it up, the initial communications that came from the communications department. Let me see if I can pull it up here and I go all these text
Well,
threads here.
while you're doing that, Brian,
Yes.
I guess, and I've seen some points in the chat, and so I guess one of your main thrusts is, why would we distrust the leadership or not believe they wouldn't have done their due diligence? I don't know if it's a matter of, and I can only speak for myself. I know some folks may say, Larry needs the belt, all this other stuff. But the thing is, some of the things like communication with the BOT and perhaps having a unified front and sharing information with them. When we've had recent examples, with another coaching search that seemed to get fumbled for whatever reason and undermine faith. You go back to the 1A move, you have some things there. You have the series of athletic directors going on. So in terms of, for lack of a better term, bad memories or PTSD from past failures at the leadership position, it would make it's not a stretch for those things to creep into mind when something like this comes into play, especially if a BOT chair or BOT member, for whatever reason, goes to the Democrat and mentions it. That's a whole other thing that I don't necessarily agree with, but that we need emergency meeting because this is the first time I've heard of it. Is it showboating, grandstanding, or is it a legitimate concern? Don't know. So, and that kind of avails itself to all these conspiracy theories, and he's a DeSantis appointee and he's a mole and all this other stuff that goes into what I was talking about earlier. But those things could have been avoided by letting the people that know, and Kelvin kind of helped a little bit, because I was wondering, I don't know if the NDA, depending on who signs it, if that precluded letting the BOT members know, because apparently this is a 5 or 6 month protracted discussion and investigation or whatever vetting was being done on the FAMU side. So we don't know to what degree and what depth. So we're just getting information. We're 4 days in, and we're Columbo and Scooby-Doo and everybody else, and they've had 5 or 6 months to deep in, Magnum PI, whoever else you want to call, the Equalizer, and
Marcus.
go into all this stuff. And so it's like, okay, you want to believe that everything's legit up and up, and Dr. Robinson, Dr. Friday Shroud did all this stuff. But then on the other hand, you have stigmas that we carry, whether it be the stigma or the cloud or the perception of HBCU mismanagement, whether it be FAMU specific in terms of balls that have been dropped in terms of athletics, in terms of the turnstile at certain key positions. So all those things come into play and create that cloud of doubt, legitimate or not. But then you couple that with the information that we as amateur detectives look up, like, hey, this website looked like, something from 2000. Something in 2000 from 2004 with HTML, using a Gmail address for the website. And, I don't even get into that dressing type stuff, but apparently, that, if you're not wearing a certain, look or whatever, then that delegitimizes you as well. But there's just some other things that you would think would be in place, or in terms of presentation, that would be in alignment with someone who's giving $250 million.
Can I read this again from out of the communication that came on Sunday?
I mean, we read it, but what is
communications?
You ain't reading the whole thing, is you?
Just a paragraph, a key paragraph. Mr. Jerami's $237,750,000 stock transfer was received in the same manner in which we have accepted all other stocks donated to the university through the FAMU Foundation, Inc. As with any non-cash gift received, such as cryptocurrency, real estate, and stocks, it will be converted to cash and recorded appropriately. So eventually, now, I don't know the timeline, it doesn't give that, but eventually we will see in the budget what all that comes to, right? So I come back to my statement that the people doing this are not doing anything new for FAMU. Yes, the amount is larger, but the process is the same as which they have always done. And they even let it sit for a month after 8 months of going through this process. And sure, from a PR standpoint, I guess, you know, it'd been nice to kind of ask Mr. Drami, what did, and again, we're on social media, right?
People
a lot.
People gonna scrutinize.
People are going to scrutinize, and yes,
they're gonna make judgments. I'm sorry. I mean, that's the way it is.
But I don't think we should allow it to distract us. And from a couple of key points that I keep coming back to about how and why do people think this is a scam? FAMU is losing nothing in this. Now, the public, I'm saying avoid the public perception from outside, because the outside noise, if you listen to it long enough, it'll mess with you. And look, we understand, you know, for some people, you know, some people are stronger than others. Not you, obviously, Kelvin. You're a very strong individual, not you. But a lot of people, it'll bother you, right? But look, we are FAMU, and look, we deal with 11 other fan bases, well, you know, maybe in a few other in some other conferences that wish they were us, want to be us, want to win championships like us, wish they had a hill as high as ours, you know, wish the sun was as orange and the grass is as green as ours. Okay, so we understand where that comes from.
All right, okay? Come with the turf. When you number one, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Exactly. So I guess I would like to just kind of say, don't be so caught up in the distraction and the because the PR doesn't look good, but focus in on what really is. And what really is that what I just read to you from the Office of Communications, that this is something that has happened and has happened before. The process is the same process as has happened. And unfortunately, I'm sorry that certain people on the board of trustees, you heard Chairman Harper, what she said. I'm sorry that they weren't involved. I'm sorry. I apparently, I don't even know if I can say what I was just about to say. There may be other people who wish they were involved. That's all I'll say. There are other people who wish they would have known. But I will say, I feel confident that, look, I'm going to use a real simple analogy. We know a lot of T-shirt vendors, guys, right? And just because I choose to get my T-shirt printed with that vendor and I didn't use that vendor over there, doesn't mean that vendor over there ain't good. It just, I happen to use that vendor to print my T-shirts. Well, the same thing might have probably was done over the past 8 months in vetting not only Mr. Jerami, his business, this trust, and this money. But, you know, that's just how I see it. I know a lot of people are going to see it different ways. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing I can say is, you know,
bring me my money. Bring me my money.
Yeah, just
do you patient. Love the black man?
Yeah, be patient and let it play out. I just, you know,
show me the money.
Yeah,
show me the money. Okay,
it's coming. You know, I don't, you know, people, I see, you know, I don't know how. Let me ask this: how would you have presented this? Let me give y'all maybe this a good final question after this. Let's just play, you know, PR agent. You know, Kelvin Rozier PR, Marcus Green PR. Kelvin, how would you have advised You know, if you were sitting at that table and had an opportunity, how would you have advised FAMU to present this? When would you have advised them to present this from a PR perspective? Because that's what I see is probably the biggest
when we
travesty in all this.
When we done cashed in and we know exactly what the value is, and I would have definitely made sure that all the board would have known and about it. But I mean, that's my answer essentially. Once it's cashed in.
Okay, fair. Marcus, how about you?
Same. You know, they've let it sit for a month, but yeah, I would probably would have kept it under wraps and then have them come back for a special ceremony versus graduation. You know, once everything has been made, I guess the term is liquid, you know, everything's been transferred over, and give the board a heads up, you know, so that there's none of this out of left field supposed unawareness of what's going on. So those two things, and then everybody else can just, you know, clam up, because by then it's water under the bridge. He could have, I don't know, he could have a MySpace account. But if there's 200 plus million in the bank, then, you know, if he wants to rock with MySpace and still have a profile for when he was in 3rd grade, fine with it, as long as the money is already there.
Right.
And he doesn't have to go on other shows to try to justify, okay, this is why it came out this way. And also I sent y'all a text, like, if I won the, you know, the Powerball or something like that, I mean, I probably would have rolled the same way he did. I would have put in a trust, get somebody, hire somebody or a lawyer or somebody to go down and do that, because I wouldn't want my name out there.
Somebody else to be the front man.
Yep.
Anybody thrown that? Anybody thought about that thought in their head that, you know, that he might be the front for somebody else?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, that is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, in some ways, I'm a little bit hopeful.
I like what Demetrius said. Demetrius said, I wouldn't have told none of y'all. Just started spending it. Beautiful. Exactly. You know, maybe so. Public university, right.
Follow the rules.
Well,
that's how you stay out of that's how you stay out of trouble, and you don't lose court cases.
I did see, Marcus, you posted this. I see that the Gathering of Old Men podcast. I'm looking at a tweet here. Troy White, who
they're gonna supposed to have.
They will have Gregory Jerami on their show tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Fat Mouth Sports. If you want to follow, if you check out, that is the Fat Mouth Sports Network. They are the host. They will be interviewing Mr. Jerami live.
And apparently from the chat, I don't know if he was on Roland Martin today. I know Roland Martin was one of the subjects between that and some other stuff today, but I don't watch Roland Martin too tight. But
I'm gonna stay away from commenting about Roland. But anyway, y'all can drink that Kool-Aid if you want. I'm not.
But I don't know. Apparently he was on there. So
who was on there? Wait a minute, who was on there? Jerami was on there?
That's what it sounds like from the chat. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch any clips, but I heard someone say, I don't know if they were implying he was on there. I'm gonna scroll back up in the chat. They said something about where was it?
I don't know if they were talking about Jerome or somebody else.
Yeah, y'all make sure to check out, follow Fat Mouth Sports. Shout out for being in the
Radical
chat.
Rattler said at 10:03 he made it to Roland Martin because of Blakely tagging Roland Martin in an attempt to create national embarrassment for FAMU in the wake of his leadership.
Yeah.
So I don't know if.
So I don't know if he's talking about Blakely or.
Yeah, Blakely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He might be talking about Blakely.
And again, my only criticism is, y'all gave. I mean, hey, more power to him, man. I mean, y'all, he got everybody for he got folks worked up. And so,
well, he stoked the fears. He's doing the same thing that that 45 does with everybody else.
He stoked the fears.
Hey,
well said.
Can we do this though? And now we're gonna try to close this segment, but let's just wait and see where this thing at.
Yep.
One way or the other. I mean,
I'm done.
It ain't about this person, that person. Let's just wait this thing out. It ain't gonna be long.
Well, I mean, it could be long.
No, it won't. It won't be long.
Okay.
It won't be long. Trust me.
Okay.
I don't want none of. I don't want none of us to have to eat crow.
See, that's the other thing, the pride.
The
pride thing too. That's getting in there too.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think we've discussed this well.
You know where too many dead bodies are buried. So when
we're
like
well balanced. I think we've been well balanced in how we presented this. And now we can let it rest and see where we are next week.
Well, I will say to Mr. Jerami, I appreciate your gift and donation to Florida A&M University. If nobody else has said it, let me say it. And to our FAMU leadership, I will say I appreciate your work in doing this. Now, let's make the key stakeholders that you guys have to work with, because that is very important, that you have to work with these people, other members of the board of trustees, other foundation members, so on and so. You have to work with these people towards the betterment of FAMU. And so as much as can be shared with them, because obviously there is an NDA, but as much as can be shared, hopefully that will help out.
He being Mr. Jerami did a interview with the Democrat, and he's now going on a podcast. I mean, do we really have an NDA? He's sure talking a lot right now.
Well, I mean, look, I think at this point,
I understand it. Don't get me wrong, I understand it, but I'm just saying we should
because I'll tell you, it's actually good
to invite him on the show, like we.
Well, hey, look, I mean, I'll be reaching out. I mean, hell, there's a Gmail account. I'll go ahead and send it. I'll reach out. I'll use the Gmail account and send a note. Maybe next week or in the weeks to come, we can kind of talk about what athletics could do with this $100 million, and then go from there. Let me see. Okay. I don't know.
You can't control what other people do, folks.
We can't.
If folks don't want to report the truth, if they find out to be wrong, that's on them. But I tell you who will come back and definitely say what's what, the O&G StrikeZone. I can speak for me.
Right. Kelvin will lead that show, and I will sit here with tape over my mouth.
Ain't nothing to lead. We on the same team. Just get rid of some of them question marks, them red flags for me.
Just a quick softball update. Bama State is up 5-2 over Jackson State right now in the bottom of the 8th. So this game must have went extra innings, and
they erupted for 3 runs in the top of the 8th.
Okay. All right.
So we might be seeing. Well, we were going to see a SWAC East foe because I think we play the winner of this game. So we're going to see a SWAC East foe regardless. SWAC East,
definitely. Hey, look, definitely if I were, I'm like with Dr. Lori there. If I were giving money to FAMU at this point, yeah, I'm giving it anonymously. I ain't letting y'all.
Why? If it's legit, why? That makes no sense to me. If I got $10 million and I'm gonna give it to FAMU, I'm gonna give them $10 million. But
you're not gonna believe it's legit. You're not gonna believe it. You don't believe this. You don't believe this.
It ain't gonna matter what people believe. Because my website gonna be tied.
And on that note, there's a walk-off shot. There you go, Kelvin. There's a walk-off shot. I love it. That's beautiful. Well said. I'm putting this this topic to bed. Man. Okay.
Now I'm gonna have to be out, but I know there's a couple folks asking, and I'm just doing the numbers.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had 6 commitments in the last since the end of April. A shot in the gap. Jackson State got a runner on board, but we've had 6 commitments. I think all on the defensive side too. So we had Corey Collier, a former 4-star safety commit last week. We've had, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Lattery Kinsler Jr. from Pahokie's class of 2020, defensive end, he's bounced from Syracuse to FIU. And we offered him when he was transitioning first in the portal from Syracuse, and he ended up going to FIU. So we were familiar with him. Bryan Norris, linebacker from, USF. I think he's from USF. Gunnar Trout, high school kicker, another kicker. And we got kickers on lock. He's state champion Cocoa High School for Class 2A Suburban. And last and about least today, Stantavia Smith, who's a defensive end, defensive lineman, goes about 6'1", 6'2", 260, 3-star player, plays for, I don't know if it's Doherty or Doherty High School, but it's in Albany, Georgia. Albany, Georgia. And he's class of 2023, so he's still got, as long as he didn't play more than 4 games this past year, and I hadn't checked. But he's got 4 years of eligibility. So defensive special teams is getting bulked up.
When did I tweet out that article from who was it who was keeping track of FBS to FCS transfers?
Sam Herder from
Sam Herder. I tweeted that out earlier. I think it was Monday when I tweeted it out. We were at 15, which was the most among all HBCUs, might be one of the most among all of FCS schools. In some of these transfers, more recent ones, they would add on to that number, yes?
I'm not sure which ones he included. If he sent it out Monday, he might already have Bryan Norris, but he may not have Stantavia Smith from today.
Okay.
But there's one person who was on there that was, I'm not sure if they're still on there. And that was Davion Walker, the wide receiver we had a commitment from back in December. I don't know if he decommitted or if he's on campus or what happened there, but we haven't heard a lot about him.
Marcus, didn't we have some guys jump out the portal too?
We did. We had at least, I think we had, well, actually, I got my PowerPoint up. Let me tell you. Chris Sanders.
Welcome back, Chris.
Alan Smith Jr., defensive end, came over from Louisville.
Welcome back, Alan.
Deco Wilson.
Welcome back, Deco.
And Alan Smith and Deco Wilson were our first year with us last year when we won the championship. Trevante Davis, he's rescinded his a while ago. Winston Fraser rescinded a while ago. Kobe Gross. So we've had those folks that are rescinded. There may be more. I don't know about Eric Horn, but I suspect he may be coming back.
It appears we got a surprise returnee too who missed last year.
Where was he at?
Running back.
Yeah, DeAndre Francis.
Yeah.
It's a speedy back from Rickards.
Quick speedy back. Yeah, exactly. Good to see. He must have been able to get back into school. I'm just kind of reading a little of the tea leaves on what some issues may have been there. But
and we lost Sheriff Say, committed to UCLA. That was earlier this week, over the weekend. And wide receiver Kareem Burke from
UAPB.
Yep, UAPB. And there Zaire Riley from Gadsden County High School.
Valdosta State. Yeah.
Johnny Chaney, Will Davis said Johnny Chaney appears to be heading to Colorado, huh?
Yeah, he recently committed today. Committed to Colorado.
Oh, he did. Okay, good for him. Congrats.
So probably maybe 2 or 3 hours ago.
Marching 100 Paparazzi said Eric Horn never went into portal. I don't know if you thought he had gone into the portal. Is that what you had thought?
Yeah, because he said portal question mark with the eyes probably about a month ago. So that's why I didn't know if it was shaky.
Yeah, apparently Horn never went to the portal.
All right. Oh, it looks like Jackson State's making it interesting. They got first and second, nobody out.
I heard somebody say, why did Alabama State change pitchers? Why indeed? Why indeed?
Yeah, I'm concerned about that for us. Now I got to get ready to be out, but I'm concerned we've put 14 in. Uh-oh. Is that a fair ball? Oh, it's a foul ball. Looked like there was something over the base that would have made it real interesting. Yeah, I'm concerned about our freshman of the year and pitcher of the year. I mean, she did 7-8 innings last night.
So
a tight game.
Baseball and softball in terms of arms, two different things, I'm assuming, right?
Well, regardless, she's, I know, I guess from softball standpoint that they're accustomed to like working a lot of innings, but I'm thinking like 14 innings, 12 innings over the first 2 games. I don't know who we're rolling out tomorrow at 3:30, and hopefully, it'd be a 4-game trip for us, and I have to go in the losers bracket and play extra games. But it's like
it'd be interesting to see if Coach goes with Zoriana again tomorrow in that softball in that game, and maybe I got like I said, I didn't know about the strategy initially. I thought maybe she started Samantha, and then after giving up a run in the first inning, maybe she was like, all right, let me go to Samantha.
Jackson State just hit a 3-run home run to tie the game.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And actually, it was just already 1 out. They just hit up because the person ahead of the 3-run home run, the bases were still, first and second. And that player.
But is it a walk-off, though? Edwin says it's a walk-off.
It's tied up at 5. It's tied up
at 5. Yeah. Oh, my God.
No, but what happened was the batter before hit to third and then got a force out at third. They still had second and third because they didn't
finish off
first and second. No double play. She just got the force out at third because they had first and second. So the number of people on base didn't change, but it was with 1 out. And now the next batter just stroked it over the left field fence to tie the game in the bottom of the 8th. All right, and with that,
appreciate you, Marcus.
I got the slides for the updates for both the transfers and the recruits, so we can look at those at your leisure. I still need to update. I think we got at least one more recruit. I tried to update from last week.
We got a punter. We got a punter too from Coco.
Yeah, I already mentioned that.
Okay.
Gunner Trout.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, hopefully Jackson State and Bama State will tire themselves out and be a little. Whoever wins will be a little real tired tomorrow.
Yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see if Samantha could go tomorrow, and maybe give Zoriana a little bit of a rest.
Remember what Coach talked about it. Now, Coach, she said, I don't want to give away too much, but she pretty much implied she was gonna ride that horse. If
you got the best pitcher in the conference. I mean, you keep going because she hadn't given up a run yet.
I see no reason. Coach know what she's doing. Keep doing what you're doing, Coach.
Mm. Yeah, we're gonna check her website. I'm gonna question her integrity or anything. So, all right. On that note,
Marcus, you're too much.
Just looking forward to a championship game on Friday or Saturday.
What'd you say?
Just looking forward to a championship game, and if we have to use some of that $100 million for some championship rings for the ladies, then so be it.
That would definitely help us out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We want to see this game go extra innings. Now, apparently, when they get to the 10th inning, they move the runner to second. They I guess those are international rules, or so. Yeah, let them keep. I saw someone Erie said, let them keep playing all night, because that's gonna wear on somebody having to play at 3:00 in the afternoon tomorrow in the heat. So advantage us. Good to be the
Yep.
1 seed, right? Good to be the 1
Yes.
And keep winning.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Marcus. Marcus, we appreciate all your perspectives and comments and thoughts. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you for the
And
platform.
we'll talk soon offline.
Most certainly. Y'all have a good rest of the evening. Hold it down. If
We
y'all
won't
need
be
to, if y'all need to separate.
It ain't gonna be long.
Yeah.
All right.
All right then. All right. Later.
Later.
All right. Good stuff. Okay. We didn't mention baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah. Lost 2 out of 3 to Bethune. Bethune continues to be is now the only series, again, the only series that FAMU has not won in SWAC play is to Bethune.
And it was the same way. It was the same way last year. If you remember.
It was.
What I would tell you, I went to 2 out of the 3 games. I went to the Friday game and I went to the Sunday game.
No, we won game 1, right? That was Granger that was Caleb Granger on the mound in game 1.
Yeah. After we won game 1, I would say that this particular weekend was played more to get ready for postseason play. Why do I say that?
Yeah,
there were players. There were players that didn't play. Right? Greco didn't play. Ty Jackson didn't play Sunday or Saturday, if I remember correctly. Our starting catcher didn't play Sunday. Coach kind of used, particularly Sunday's game, but kind of used this to rest some guys. There's a relief pitcher he hadn't used in about 3 weeks now. He kind of used this to get the guys prepared for tournament play. Now, I anticipate everybody will play against Alabama State so we can secure our spot in the tournament, and then we end up with Valley, and I believe he's going to freely and liberally play other players for that Valley series. But I anticipate everybody will play this weekend. And all we really need is 2 out of 3. So, I'm encouraged. I'm not worried at all. We still had opportunities to win, even though we didn't play 3 of our main hitters. Pitching was solid, typical. So we right where we want to be. We're still in first place with weekend series that we play against up in at Alabama State in Montgomery, and this is kind of what will tell us where we're gonna finish.
Yeah, we have a 1-game lead over Bethune, and you just mentioned the Alabama State series. We're actually 3 up on them. Alabama State has won 3 in a row. Let's see, who does Bethune have this weekend? Quick, I'm looking now. Oh, they go to Jackson State.
Okay.
So they just lost to Stetson on yesterday. They lost to Stetson 8-7. And now they go to Jackson State. So I feel like we were just in this going with this just this kind of 4-team thing. Was it last weekend? Not I mean, obviously the weekend before when we were playing Jackson State and Bethune and Alabama State were playing each other. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Edwin. I appreciate you pointing that out. But I took the over in this game, Edwin, just to insulate myself from feeling really bad. That's all I'll say. Yeah. Anyway. So over on the west side, Oh my goodness. Jackson State just won it.
Okay, good. The way it should be.
Wow, what a comeback. Down 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th, scoring 4 runs.
Boy, you're right. So whoever said that, they shouldn't have changed pitchers.
Boy. That's tough. I do not like those uniforms. I'm sorry, Jackson State. Those uniforms y'all got softball, yeah, ugly.
What color they have on this today?
It's white with like some kind of, they look like they're from the 70s. Some kind of blue. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan. We still think we got the best uniforms in softball. Congratulations, Jackson State. We'll see you tomorrow. 3:30. Hope you guys get some rest. Get some sleep.
Don't get no rest. Stay up. Y'all done won the tournament.
Celebrate. Victor, there you go. Exactly. WordPress uniforms. There you go. All right. I don't even know what else is on the script, Kelvin, to be honest. I'm tired. I'm fatigued. Anything I missed?
No, I don't. We had some men basketball news, but with commits, but we'll say that for next week.
You think we wear the all black? I don't think we wear the all black tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. It don't matter. We had the all whites. Game 1 oranges today. We might go solid color, either blacks or the greens. We might go all green tomorrow. I'm willing to bet we go green.
If I had to bet, Coach said they loved all blacks. All blacks probably is a good guess if he ain't wore it already.
I think they saving that one for a special game. Just my thought.
Maybe.
I mean, obviously you gotta win tomorrow to get there. But I think they go green pinstripes tomorrow and then pull out the blacks for the championship game.
If you get the championship game without a loss, it don't matter what you wear.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'm seeing a lot of people guessing green pinstripes. All right. Green pinstripes tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. That's what wait a minute. Who? Okay, whose braids do I like most? Simone or AD? AD. Who's AD? AD. Edwin, who are you talking about?
Oh, he talking about our AD. Did she get her hair changed? I remember somebody.
Edwin, stop it.
Yeah,
stop
he messy.
it.
Edwin,
messy, so messy. So messy. So messy. I do like Tiffany's braids though. I do. And then yes, I see Simone and I'm really I'm fascinated by braids. I don't know. I'm turned on somehow. I'm very, very, I love them. I love them. It's a good look. It's a good look. But you're messy, Edwin. Forget you, man. That's all right. With that said, we appreciate your tuning in, watching, supporting the show. Thanks again to Coach Ellenwood, Garfield Ellenwood, for joining us, giving us some recap, great update on track and field. Congratulations again to all of our Rattlers. Our student athletes are doing some amazing things.
Great things.
And again, thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. You know, we hope we gave you a perspective from some individuals who really love FAMU. And that's all we can do.
Yeah.
And so you know, we'll see what the next week provides. You know, who knows? There's always something new happening.
I am ready to go on a spending spree. I'm ready to do a spending spree show.
Maybe that's next week's show. Hopefully, yeah. What do we do with $100 million? There you go. There's the topic for next week's show. Hopefully. Again, I'll be tuned into the Gathering of Old Men podcast tomorrow at Fat Mouth Sports. Gregory Jerami scheduled to be on the show live 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Go check them out. Should be a good one. Thank you to everybody who watched us. Please make sure to hit the thumbs up and the like button on the way out the door. Again, you can always donate and give to the show. You can always drop a button, drop a little something in the super chat on the JBN out.
I'm with you, Vic.
JBN page.
Those busy bee bathrooms are the bomb. I'm with you. That's what we're gonna put in Bragg. I want the icing machines too.
You can always donate to the show on the Cash App or hit that square QR code right there. We always appreciate the donations, appreciate the support. We are making plans to try to be in Tampa for the National Alumni Association, whether they invite us or not. Whether we may have our own doggone town hall. Might be a lot to talk about at that thing at the end of the month. Who knows? But we plan on being there. Whether they let us in or not, that's a whole nother story. We'll have to stay tuned. We may have to find a local. Hey, any local establishments in Tampa interested in hosting a show? Let us know. We'd love, maybe we could do a show from a local restaurant. Or you guys got any ideas or any good suggestions? Send us an email, O&G StrikeZone@gmail.com.
There's Be Out Day on Saturday.
Where? In Tampa?
Yeah.
Where?
At a park. I've seen the information. We got some good friends who involved with that. We'll talk with them.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's wrap it up. Appreciate everybody for watching, tuning in. Again, thanks to Marcus. You guys do something good do something positive with the rest of your day today. It's only a few hours left before you go to bed. And if you really care about FAMU, keep FAMU in your prayers. That's about all I can really ask and say. Yeah. All right.
Champions.
Remember that.
Remember that. We champions, right? Put some respect on our name.
For Marcus Green and Kelvin Rozier, I'm Bryan Fulford. Thank you, Rattler Nation. Thank you, HBCU Diaspora, for tuning in and watching us. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube at O&G StrikeZone. And go look for the BCSN Pod Zone, the podcast of this show and all of the shows on the Black College Sports Network are on the BCSN Pod Zone, everywhere you listen and download and watch, rate, review, podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Google, Apple Podcast, and more. That's BCSN Pod Zone. Good night, Rattler Nation. Fangs up. Strike hard, strike often, and strike with some venom in your words. Peace out.
Oh,